The following is an interview that took place between Lanzer and Zealous a couple of days ago. It happened on Twitch on Lanzer's channel, and it's about an hour and 40-some minutes of a discussion about the recent drama surrounding the outfit war, Zealous's response to it, the response to Zealous's uh, proclamations, and a couple of videos he made about it. And I wanted to highlight here that I think Lanzer did an admirable job of trying to get to the bottom of what this guy thinks. And I think this interview, I know for me, highlighted. Well, basically, I wasn't surprised by what took place in this interview. So I'm just going to let it play through its entirety, and I'm going to be right there up in this part of the screen, and I'm going to pause it and do my regular react thing. I don't know when I'll post this or even if I will post it, but I'm bored and I have nothing better to do. And I only got through about 47 minutes of it or so. And I had a lot of, there was points where I wanted to take down notes and everything, where I had real objections to things that were happening in the discourse. And I think it would be just another good way to kind of prepare for, well, if you don't know, tentatively right now, I'm slated to go and talk to Lanzer on his show on Stratside in the coming weeks. So I thought this would kind of be in the theme of what's going on here. And yeah, I have nothing to do today for the next several hours, so I figured I would just do this anyway. And the servers were down for maintenance and all that. So yeah, without further ado, here we go.
Which is what it is today. Hey everybody, welcome to Stratside number 7. Today, we're going to be talking about Outfit Wars 2022 and a community divided, and you'll see why we chose those two words, that title here in a second. Stratside is a podcast about approaching everything from big things to little things in PlanetSide 2, and I like approaching it from a data perspective, but ultimately sometimes it's just conversations, which is what it is today. So let's go ahead and start into the actual discussion portion. So my guest here is Zealous. He's the leader of Boys and also a pretty prolific YouTuber for PlanetSide 2. He outputs tons of videos, everything from player tutorials to commentary to, just I've enjoyed listening to his videos about big concepts and patch updates as well. So Zealous, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, dude. It's good to be here. Yeah. I'm excited to get into this conversation. I think it'll be interesting.
Yeah, you and me both. I've been looking forward to this. So let's jump right into it. So the agenda, we're going to go over a disclaimer, the normal scope of the talk, why this matters to a PlanetSide 2 player, and then we'll jump right into the discussion points. Hey, Henry, what's up? Hi, good to see you. So the disclaimer is that everything that's about to be talked about, all of these opinions, it comes strictly from our individual perspectives. I speak for myself, Zealous speaks for himself. And then second is that some of these things are connected to current and pre-existing things that might be considered drama or controversial content. We're not really going to delve too much into the offensive realm. I seriously doubt that.
There are trigger warnings. What a nice touch.
But some things will be brought up that has caused tension within the community. And that's one of the major reasons why I wanted to bring Zealous on, so we could talk about that. Scope of the talk. So what it is, this is a discussion of sharing a personal experience between the two of us. And also it's an opportunity for us to build bridges, at least for me, to build a bridge, to better understand a perspective that I've been very interested to understand ever since I started watching some of his videos earlier this year. What it isn't, I don't anticipate this is going to be an argument. I think this is going to be a pretty nice discussion where we talk about differing perspectives and we might overlap. And then it's also not some sort of like indictment, investigation, or interrogation where I'm sitting here accusing him of things. It's really just to understand and build a bridge. So why does this matter to a PlanetSide 2 player? Well, the casual and competitive players have been at odds with each other since beta. And I use the word at odds because at various points it's been high tension, low tension. If you've been here for a while, you know what I'm talking about. The current levels right now have spiked back up. The tension I'm talking about when Outfit Wars 2022 was announced, and then some subsequent content was pushed out, Zealous among them, and I believe this tension has been caused due to expectations of outfits and player conduct. And I've heard a lot from different people say, I don't understand why blank, 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 blank. And normally it's like, I don't understand why this person has that mindset. Well, this is an opportunity to help shed that and some insight into why someone believes the way they do. And with that, let's go up into the actual introductions. So myself, Lanzer, I'm been player since 2012. Beta. I'm NC Connery. I've been part of the Devil Dogs pretty much that whole time, and I co-founded Server Smash. Done a lot of Server Smash, PlanetSide Battle things, written articles, and recently working with Flashy on season 2 of the Echoes of Vanu. And other than that, I'm just a regular, Vanguard main battle tank player, and that's me. Hey, Zealous, can you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Yeah, so I'm like the Zarkfit evil leader of Vanu Cobalt Boys. Yeah, I've also on a YouTube channel, I guess. That's kind of like a secondary thing for me. I'm mostly just like playing with the outfit. And I'll make videos as well, and people like to watch them, so that's cool.
Awesome, man. So now let's get into the discussion points, and give me 2 seconds while I adjust something I saw I need to fix. There we go. Okay. So, where does this thing start? Honestly, it starts long time ago. We're talking years ago, back even when MLG was a thing. But more recently, what we're talking about here is some months ago, Rail announced Outfit Wars 2022, and then the commentary started and the different discussions. Alliances started kicking off. Some of them had already existed for a while, and Zealous came out with a video called Outfit Wars Might Ruin PlanetSide 2, and that was in May. It hit, and I didn't really see much reaction to it. But then after that, in June, he kicks off another meeting. The summer update for PlanetSide 2 is here. And that's this second highlighted line right there, where he talks about some of the fake outrage that he's received. And we'll get into that a little bit later. What was that, Zealous?
I don't think it's fake. I think some people are genuinely mad, and like probably most people. I don't think it's fake.
Got it. I'm using your words.
Okay, so the first thing here is it's not about being mad. You know, it's not that people are mad about the situation. It's that there's a select group of people who have identified your viewpoint as illogical, irrational, immature, infantile, dumb, and they've gone out and specifically addressed that situation. They've addressed the things that you've stated and the mindset and the ideas that you have about this whole thing. They've gone out and addressed those in a direct way. It's not about being angry. I don't know why. I don't know why it is people, that's the first thing they go to. Like when I made my video response, it didn't come from a place of anger. Now there's people that are not very smart, and and you'll find a lot of them in the comment section of his videos. They can't separate. Like if I say fuck one time in a video, then if you say fuck, it's just a word. It's 4 letters. That automatically indicates that I'm angry. Or if I go on, did I go on some rants in that video about the state of games in general and casuals? Yeah, sure, but it's not from a place of anger. It's from a place of frustration, and some of the things said in that video, the insane things he starts talking about, like people with their head in the sand and all that stuff. It's like, it's a sense of awe. Like, it's shocking to me that there's still space for these people who are so ignorant to not understand the reality of the situation. And you have people that live in fantasy world like Zealous. It's extremely frustrating, and it's painful that people can be so ignorant or feign naivety about certain things, and we'll go into more of that, but it's not about being angry. And just because someone calls you out for being dishonest, inauthentic, disingenuine, they're not angry or salty or whatever of these other hijacked words that you want to try to hide behind to avoid any real conversation and discussion, which let's not mince words here. That's what you try to do, and that's what you've done in almost this entire interview. And for those of you watching, you'll get to watch that play out here too. So all the stuff that I've said about this guy being fake as shit, just not genuine, you're going to get a real sense of that here. And I guess it depends who you're coming from, because I've seen some of his... He posted this on his channel, Zealous did, in its entirety, which is crazy because I don't think there's a video on his channel that's over 8 or 9 minutes long. So to post an hour and 47-minute discussion, none of his viewers are going to watch that. None of them. Because if you're a subscriber to that channel, that's not what you're there for. Now, people that subscribe and watch my channel, they're in for that shit, okay? But we're talking 2 completely different demographics here. But anyway, it's not about being angry. It's about being direct and going directly to the source and calling you out. You can hide behind these words that you've hijacked to not have a discussion, and you can do the thing where you just call everybody who disagrees with you toxic, but you're not dealing in reality. You're not actually trying to have a discussion. You're just trying to say your piece and go hide from it. And we see right through that shit, all right? The shit's weak.
That I pulled from the video.
Okay, well, sometimes I say shit and I definitely then think, that's wrong, like right now. So, yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Hey, that's cool too. Well, that's no problem. So then...
That shit happens. It's a normal thing for human beings to interact with.
about...
It's a normal thing that happens to humans. It especially sucks for you if you're a content creator and you do a lot of opinions. You have a lot of opinions. You say a lot of things. I know this better than most people. There's some things I've said that I'm not proud of, or that I've changed my mind over time on and want to go back and do. But what the core of it here is, when I change my mind, when you see me evolve my stance and my viewpoint on things, it's generally over time, because you need that time to absorb new information. You learn new things. You get older. Your experiences change. And you kind of have this full fucking context to be able to go back and say, okay, well, maybe what I thought here, I need to change that now. That's not what we're talking about here. Okay? And when you have that sort of situation where it takes you a long time to change your mind on something, or to alter an opinion, that's generally rooted in the original idea or what you originally stated as having some real foundation. Like, there's a reason you came to that belief, on whatever it is. This is just a totally ambiguous, hypothetical thing that we're talking about here. An idea, a statement, or whatever, a belief. When you come out and say that, generally, I think most people, or maybe I can't say that. It's not necessarily most people, but I know I can only speak for me. So when I come out with a viewpoint, and I publish it publicly, like with content, like you have all the stuff on. Sorry, this fucking coconut Red Bull is beating my ass a little bit. When you establish an idea and you come out publicly with it and you publish it and you iterate on it and work on it, there's a foundation there. So there's probably a pretty good reason why you are taking the viewpoint or the stance that you are in the first place, because it's grounded, it's based in something, it's gone through, it's gone through some testing in your head, to get published in that form. Now, it may ultimately turn out to be wrong. That happens a lot. But that's not what we are dealing with here. We're dealing with someone who put out a pretty, I guess at the end of the day, looking back now, is a pretty controversial take. Now, you have people that come out sort of in defense, and you have the serious does the who cares if people don't show up video, like whatever. So you come out with this stance that you're not going to show up. You're going to intentionally do this, only intentionally play the matches you want to play in. And then you receive backlash for it almost immediately. There's a lot of backlash on those two videos. And one of them is from probably the biggest content creator in the game, who still publishes videos on YouTube. It doesn't even matter about me. Lanzer's going to mention me, but in the grand scheme of things, I don't really matter. I'm like sub 500 subs. But there was a big negative reaction to what this guy said. And I don't think that this guy is used to experiencing those kind of big negative reaction events. Now, he's had it happen before where anytime, basically in the last, this calendar year, I think you started to see this. Like Shockter went on his stream and ripped into his ass a little bit. I know that myself, Batty, and Leroy, a couple times on Batty's podcast at the beginning of the calendar year, we ripped into his ass some. I know Batty has had interactions with the guy. There's a subset group of like creators and stuff who generally don't like this guy very much. And we've ripped into his ass a little bit. And I think he can deal with that because it's not as direct. Maybe he hears about it, maybe he doesn't. But when you put out this weird controversial take in 2 videos on your main channel, and then you eat there's a lot of shitty comments on those videos. I don't know if they were taken down the last time I looked. I don't know if they're up still anymore. But there were a lot of shitty comments on those videos, rightfully so. And I don't think this guy doesn't deal too well with negativity or perceived negativity. Like, those people would go post comments on his channel on those specific videos about how much of a dumb take it was to do that and how they disagreed with it. And you have a lot of these super soft people that the feeling I get from this guy is that, like, I don't know anything about him, but when it comes to like content creation and stuff and all that, he's one of those like positive vibes only fake ass motherfuckers that will hide behind words or labels on people to avoid getting out of a discussion. But then when you get into a discussion with him, he just runs around in circles and he does a lot of waffling, and you're gonna see that here if I ever shut the fuck up and let the video play. But yeah, this whole thing is essentially me put out controversial take, me take negative feedback for controversial take, me no like negativity because me no equipped to handle and to actually defend my position because me make 8-minute regurgitate videos with zero substance, and then there you go. And then you take your videos down and you do a complete 180, and now you shut the fuck up about it and you don't talk about it anymore. That's what this is. That's not someone over a long time coming to a conclusion based on the given data and everything to repair or resuscitate their viewpoint on something. This is an instant I don't like negativity, knee-jerk reaction to I better say all the other things the opposite way because people didn't react. Like, we see right through that, man.
Some of the responses he got. And then he puts out the video later in June, 27 June, called The New Controversial Outfit Wars Rules for PlanetSide 2. And that's what kicks off the road that leads to today. Kamikaze responds to it. Lex responds to it. Shocktor responds to it. And then Sirius responds to some of the other people's responses from like Kami and Lex. And in that time, Zealous also output another video responding to what was labeled the Kamikaze drama. And he went into a discussion over the casual and pros in PlanetSide 2. Shocktor or Lex also.
Which we still haven't had that discussion. That's the video that I did my response on. And there's nothing to do with casuals versus pros in that video. Because you know why? There are no professional players in PlanetSide 2. There are no pros. So all these salary cap and fucking, major sports leagues analogies that everybody wants to keep doing, guess what? They're completely fucking irrelevant because there are no professional players in this game. Everybody in this game is a fucking amateur. Stop. It has nothing. It's apples and oranges. They have nothing to do with each other. Okay? Stop doing the major sports leagues, the salary cap stuff, all that shit, because it's completely and totally irrelevant because there are no professional players in this video game. There aren't. There never have been and there never will be. It's all amateurs. And it's just you being butthurt that now that you have to go in a 48 versus 48 against people that are better than you, that's a big fucking problem for you. Whereas before, in the fake non-competitive version of the Outfit Wars, you could just double team whoever was better. Now that's gone. And you're faced with the reality that there are people that are better than you at the game, and you have to go up against them in an even matchup. And that's terrifying for you, and it's terrifying for your ego. So stop with all the professional stuff. There are no pros in the game. There are just amateurs who are better than you. That's it.
So posted a analysis video. As Lex and I have had a lot of conversations, and Lex knows where I stand on some of his stuff, how it can be very insulting, and this title here is no exception there. But he does have some pretty good points to make. But that was his response. Kami responds with a detail and a rant, is what he called his video. And then Shocktor went over a little bit of that in his recent Rel FAQ, where he hosted Rel and asked him questions. And then Sirius also weighed in. And Sirius is weighed in specifically, I think, more in defense of Zealous, maybe not even defensive, but just on that side, and kind of a counterpoint to what Kami and Lex were talking about.
It's stunning that someone who has clearly demonstrated historically to not understand anything about skill in the game or skill gaps or skill disparities, yet he always wants to vomit from the mouth about them. Interesting that he would offer another loser take. Very interesting.
And then Zealous recently also, you put out 13 October, so like 8 days ago, something like that. And then the PlanetSide 2 divided community. And so our discussion, I think, is going to kind of go into two categories. One, outfit wars and that build up there. And then 2 is I think there's a discussion we had in the divided. You're talking about the division of the community, and that's really, what caught my eye was your commentary on that and how you wanted to your different perspectives. And let's just kind of get into that now.
Yeah.
So the
So
first
what's
thing
the fast bit you'd like to go over?
what's that?
What's the fast bit you'd like to go over? In regards
Well,
to that?
the first thing I'd like to know is if anyone goes back to try and Google search these on YouTube, you won't find some of them. And that's because, Zealous, you mentioned that you delisted them. The first thing I'd like to go over is what caused you to delist them?
I think that, like, okay, so
Great question. Number 1. Good question, Lanzer. Good job.
I think that I make videos in, it takes me not a massive amount of time to make the video. I just release the content, and sometimes I don't say things in the best way. That's the truth. Like, sometimes I just say things and I'm like, yeah, actually, that was a good point. Take down the video. That's really where it is. But I also think I was right at the same time in some regards. But I also think, but the thing is, like, upsetting people is never the goal, right? So that's
Upsetting people is never the goal. See, here we have two different galaxies of thought, right? Now, some would argue that I make content just to upset people. Well, that's not the case at all. I don't care how people feel about what I do. I really don't. You can hate what I do. You can love what I do. It makes no difference to me. As long as you are getting into it and you're actually getting to the points that I'm trying to make, although, granted, I make points badly sometimes. That happens. As long as you're getting what I'm trying to tell you and the message is getting there, that's all I care about. I don't care about changing people's minds. I don't care about if, just having a positive reaction to what I do. If I feel strongly about something and I make an opinion piece on it, and I'm going to put it out there, right? And it's going to be in the usual, like, one take fucking way that I do it. Like, I don't really write scripts for anything anymore. I think the last video I did a script for was the skill gap compression the game video. Before that, other than that, yeah, like, I can't be asked to write, right? And I think it's more, it comes off as more genuine and more real if I just literally just sit with my microphone and the camera and I just sit here and talk to you, like, just free flowing stream of thought, right? Because you're getting the raw thing here. You're not getting any, like, doctored up stuff. You're not getting, like, hardly ever edited. And I think the people that can get over the hump of this video might be long, might be longer than something I would normally watch. If you can get over that hump, I think you'll generally enjoy what I offer. Now, that's on the one hand. Now you have the other side. You have the Zealous universe, galaxy over here, where it's like, I'm just going to shit out a bunch of clickbait videos with clickbait titles and clickbait fucking thumbnails. They're very shallow. There's hardly anything to do with them, or there's hardly any depth to them. And then I really care about how people react. And if people react badly and don't like my opinion, I'm going to delist both the videos. I think you can see, like, the difference that I'm trying to bring across to you here, right?
that's part of it. I don't make videos to upset people.
See, some people, like, I don't make videos to upset people either. When I make videos that go after people, and generally it's because they've said something extremely dumb or they've made a personal attack against me, that's pretty much the only times I ever go after individuals.
So, yeah. And then
There you have
also
it.
just, I don't know, yeah, that's it, I guess.
But this guy, like, when I make a video about something, it's because I want to make a video about it and I'm passionate about I'm passionate about what I'm talking about in the video. I don't get that sense from this guy. The sense I get from this guy is I just make videos and like that's how this makes me feel.
Yeah. Thanks. No, that's good. I was curious about that just from the outset. And so that rolls right into the first video you did in May. And some summaries I put here is that and about a minute in, you talk about how you believe the matches at the time, you believe the matches would be one-sided if there was a skill disparity.
Oh, I
7
totally
min-
agree with that.
Yeah, you still do? Okay. And then 7
100%.
minutes in, you talk
Stunning.
about if you're and this is where I think it starts that long road to where we are. If you're gonna go up against a team that's super uncompetitive because of how strong they are, do not play against them or feel the pressure to show up. It's not gonna be fun. Do not play those matches.
Okay, so I think that like everyone should do their own thing. I don't think like it's fair to like encourage people one way or the other. And like my opinion stance now is basically I think like it's fair to be educational towards people and like present like what likely the match is going to be like. But I shouldn't be like tell people like, yeah, you should definitely not show up to the match or you should show up to the match. Rather just give the information and people can make their own decision.
Gotcha. Okay.
And I do think that like you should let your members do that as well. So I wouldn't stop our members from showing up, and I wouldn't tell them not to show up either. But I would definitely inform them of what the match is likely going to be like.
It's kind of like a maximum flexibility of choice.
Yeah, I'll give people the choice. I think that's actually like legitimately that's probably what I would have ended up with once I talked to my outfit. They were like, "Yeah, I think that's better." So like, I don't know. That's kind of where I land right now, to be honest.
Okay. And this is going to be there's going to be several threads that I'm pulling at, and one of them you've already touched on a bit, which was I think when I mentioned the I can't remember right now, but about a minute into I'm sorry, 4 minutes in, there was a quote that I started hearing kind of different words often, which was salty try-hard outfits, salty teams, try-hard teams. Can you talk about
Yeah.
who you're referring to?
So, first off, titles especially and thumbnails, I will put whatever for views. I think that the content's important and how it's framed really, in my opinion, people respond to different things. And if I put an accurate title like this is what Outfit Wars is going to be like, 2 people would click on the video. Like you have to somewhat be, oh god, I'm gonna, yeah, you have to kind of just give a bit of like a performance because that's what YouTube is, right?
Okay. So would it be fair if I called that clickbait?
Mm, kind of. The thing about clickbait is clickbait's like for me when you say something and that isn't what it is at all. Whereas I think there's like a
Oh, like your video that's titled "Casuals versus Pros" in PlanetSide 2? You didn't talk anything about that. How could you? Because since that dynamic doesn't exist.
there's a line between
Just
that where
saying.
it's kind of clickbait, but it's not like I'm actually not delivering the content that the video espouses to deliver. So
Okay. So you said there's kind of like a performance aspect to it.
yeah,
Almost
like
like a
salty vet,
sort of
everyone knows
thing.
what I'm talking about. That's not like.
Say that one more time.
So if I say like salty vet, I think everyone kind of knows like what groups I'm talking about. I don't have to say skilled players every time because if I say skilled players in a video, no one's gonna have to click that video. It's just adding a
Okay.
bit of flavor to the title or whatever. That's kind of
Okay, so you add flavors that way you can get people to click on it and watch your content.
yeah, because you got to be respectful where people are at, not just wish people wanted to click accurate titles. That isn't what YouTube is. YouTube is about you're fighting literally every other YouTube video for viewership.
That's a fair point to make. Do you have any misgivings or is there anything in your brain that says even though I'm fighting, even though this is a performance, that the title is a performance, the content is fine. Do
Yeah,
you ever have
as
any
long as the content's fine, I do not care what the title says or like as long as the actual I don't edit the content, that's kind of where I would draw the line personally. Well, okay, there is a line to where like it's too clickbaity, but obviously, as long as it is descriptive of what I'm talking about, like, and if it wasn't, honestly, if it was like the title was too clickbait, and there's a line where like it's not accurate to what you're talking about, and that's bad clickbait. So it's not
Okay.
even like that would be good.
Okay. Yeah, that's something I noticed in different, not even just the outfit or the out videos we're talking about right now, but there was a set of videos that you had, and it was called like how tryhards win bases or capture bases.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
when
Man,
when
that's
I
one of my
first saw
favorite
that,
videos.
Zealous, I thought this is gonna be like he's gonna be like shit talking people, and when I click
Fuck
it,
yeah.
it was actually very educational. And
Yeah, if I put the title, the thing is, before that I had like 2 titles, and one of them was like how to point hold bases, and the viewership was like three times less than they would normally get. And then I put that title, and suddenly it's doing normal. It's not the content didn't change; it's just the title did. It's just part
Okay.
of YouTube.
All right, I'll concede that. That I guess I can understand. Cool. All right. Salty team, salty outfits. Yep. So then, about 7 minutes in for that May video, you talk about how there are multiple weeks. How can people survive multiple weeks of getting burnout? And you said that that's not a good idea. And I'd like to know, how is that different than live or the multiple years that we've all, been in this game together?
Another great. It's a question. It's going into a question here. Well, it is a question, but it's it's a great question because it's directly challenging the notion that this is something that I brought up in my video that I did about this, and I was like Zealous had brought up like SKL and the outfits like that were going to get their asses beat in the competition, and it's not going to be good for them. And then my response to that was, well, aren't they just going to go right back to live? Aren't they just going to go right back to live and do the exact same thing that they've been doing this entire time? That's the sense that I get from playing the game and seeing these people and knowing how they respond and react to things. Like, they're just going to drive on, man. Like, so that's why, to me, it struck me as very cheap to try and place his entire outfit and his community on, like, to sacrifice that on the altar of outfit wars as like some kind of fucking martyr. Like, it's just something that it's not real. And that's why it's about to get brought up, but that's why I said, if signing up for a 48 versus 48 competition and getting your shit pushed in for a couple of matches, if that honestly burns you guys out so bad that you quit the game and quit the community, you must have an outfit full of fucking pussies. That's exactly what I said, and that's what I'm getting to, because I don't think they're actually pussies. I think Zealous is just talking out of his ass here, and he's trying to make you think that all these outfits that are going to get their shit pushed in are sacrificing all their well-being and their ability to play the game and want and urge and need to play the game. They're going to wear themselves out and ragged and thin and their souls are going to leave their fucking bodies because they lose in a fucking 48 versus 48. Like, it's so over dramatic. Dude, that's what I'm speaking to. Because I know that that's probably not the case. But if it is the case, then yeah, you have an outfit in a community full of complete and total pussies who would burn out and lose their fucking souls to the afterlife because they got their shit pushed in a couple competitive matches. Like, that's my point. And if you don't like how I say it, I don't care. I don't care. But it's so disingenuous. It's so fake. Because all these big outfits that are going to get their shit pushed in are going to go right back to live and play the game and not have some melodramatic fucking episode where their entire existence and morality is questioned because they lose in a fucking 48v48 on Nexus. Really? And then I'm the asshole because I call that out. I'm the asshole. Okay.
Okay, so can you repeat the first part? Because I understood that this is about burnout, but I'm not sure what you're trying to, what
You
the
were
question was.
about 7.5 minutes in.
Yep.
When you were talking about outfit wars might ruin PlanetSide 2, you were saying that. Yeah.
Okay,
go
so
ahead.
in regards to outfit wars burnout, sure.
Yeah.
So the thing is, we played against like Hydra in Outfit Wars 1. And it was a 1v1 because the other team didn't show up. And we still have people in our outfit, in our community. There's one called Claycler, and there's a few others too, that still play other games with us, but refuse to log into PlanetSide 2, specifically after that game. They got burnt out from it. I know from first-hand experience what this is going to do to outfits. The burnout is fucking spooky. As against very skilled teams versus casual teams, nobody seems to realize what's going to happen. People are going to get burnt into the fucking ground like no one understands. It's crazy, man.
God forbid that these fucking fake winners from live play with their overinflated egos from dropping zergs on everything and being just, vegetable people wandering around the map fucking winning. God forbid that they're gonna lose. Oh my God, they're gonna lose. Oh, I'm gonna lose to better players. Oh, not in my PlanetSide. That doesn't happen in my PlanetSide. And if you put me against better players and I lose, well, fuck you. I'm burning out and I'm never going to play your game again.
But what about the previous lane smashes, community clashes, server smashes,
God.
all of those 1v1 atmospheres?
Get a grip.
Yeah. So lane smash is a bit different because the skill disparity oftentimes isn't as large. There were teams that, so for example, the only two teams that weren't as skilled was actually my team when we played lane smash this season. And yeah, our team wasn't as skilled, I'd say on average. And we experienced burnout to the point where we couldn't play our last match because we just couldn't get the people. So even if
Sounds like a personal problem. That's all I'm saying.
in lane smash, people burnt out in our team.
Gotcha.
And I can't
Okay.
speak for the other teams because I wasn't in them, but I know one other team didn't show up because they got burnt out as well. I'm not sure which one.
And it gets back to this point. If you don't want to play against better players, which you're going to play against better players in the 1v1 48 versus 48 outfit wars on Nexus, if you don't want to play against better players ever and lose, stick to fucking live. Don't sign up and don't play. It's just not for you because you're a fucking loser. It's really that simple.
So even in lane smash, it happens, man.
Got it. All right, that's fair. And let's see. Yeah, at 7, almost 8 minutes, you talk about how you said don't feel the pressure to show up if you're playing against better teams. It's not going to be fun. Don't play those matches. And I think that's what caught my eye first. That I really started thinking,
I don't agree with that. Like
You
I
don't?
would disagree with that person. So I would
wait.
Yeah,
You said that. I'm quoting you.
yeah. I know. I said that. I wouldn't agree with that anymore, though.
Oh, you don't agree with that?
No, so
Okay.
I agree with like basically anything, but you shouldn't encourage people one way or the other, but rather just present facts. I think that's like a more fair perspective. Like just fairly say, look, if you show up to this match, if you go against a team that's 3.5 KD average and your team's 1 KD, there's obviously going to be some burnout involved. You're going to get stomped into the ground, and it's fair to say that, but not to encourage people not to show up. People
Hate to be the bearer of bad news here, but being the 3.5 plus KD players against those players too, that's boring for us too. I gotta say, from Farmers League playing against outfits like Band and these other non-competitive teams that thankfully and we're historically greatly and very appreciative of them joining up. Did they have a snowball's chance in hell to beat outfits like DA, Recursion, Future Crew, and AC? No. No, they were never going to. They were going to get their shit stomped every week. But you know what? I don't ever remember those guys. A big fucking shout out to Band, man. I love those guys. Like, those guys were never going to win a fucking match, and they showed up and they practiced hard and they played hard every fucking week, and they lost. They got their asses kicked. But you know what? God damn it. They got better towards the end of the season. Even like there was a guy in season 1 named, I think, Wolfhausen on one of the fucking TRT. I don't remember if it was TXR or what. But watching these players like evolve over a season, like normal, like well-adjusted humans who are not used to being handed victories all the time, you take the wins with the losses, right? And losing is the most fucking valuable thing that will ever happen to you in your life. I don't care whether it's fucking in relationships, if it's in work, getting fired, losing a job, being passed over for a promotion, anything like that. Losing is the most valuable thing that can happen to you. It is the biggest character builder that we have available to us. So yeah, I get the whole thing that it's a video game, but it's a competitive format and it's a tournament that's intended to be competitive. I mean, you can sit and fucking quibble and have the little dribble come out of your mouth over like, well, we don't know what it is, and it's really ambiguous, and we don't really know who. Stop. You know exactly. Stop what you're doing. Stop. Seek fucking help. You know it's a competitive tournament. You know what it is. You know what it is. You can't fake not knowing what the fuck this is. So the fact that we have to sit here and listen to this fucking sad song about, you know, these players might lose. It's like, good. Maybe it'll teach them something about themselves. Maybe they'll fucking learn that they're actually not that good at the game. Maybe they'll find ways to get better. Maybe when they get in these individual games against these skilled outfits, they can fucking take something from it and learn from these guys instead of pissing and shitting in their diaper and sitting there not even coming out of the spawn. These people are pathetic. And everyone that is in line with this guy and apologizing for what he says and boosting up and building and supporting this mindset, you're the fucking problem. You're the problem, okay? People like me and Cammy and fucking whoever else is talking about this shit, actually, you know, I can't even name, there's so many people that are outright against this shit and are agreeing with me with what I'm talking about. Like, I can't even name all the fucking people. So I feel bad just saying me and Cammy, but we're the ones making fucking responses to it. So I guess it is what it is. But man, the band players getting their shit pushed in and watching them from the other side of it get better and better and better and better every week. Like, it's called growth. And the problem with fucking PlanetSide 2 players is they don't want to grow. They don't want to improve. I've been saying this for fucking 10 years. And it's just, it's so ever persistent. And it's always here. It's fucking August 2022. And the same shit, we're still talking about the same shit. And you want to come out and say, oh, well, you guys, nah, that's not true. That's not true. Look at the discourse.
People should make their own decision.
Okay. So, is that where you mentioned earlier one of the reasons why you delisted is because
Yeah,
you
that
figured out...
was probably the main reason, because I actually thought about it. And
actually, the main reason is because you got negative feedback on something from a big number of people, and you didn't like that because you're a fake positivity guy.
The thing is, I didn't make the delineation between what I should have said is, look, there's some teams that have put in a lot of effort, and they've done a lot of ops before, and they've really practiced. Like, those teams are very different from the teams that have a 3.5 KD. They never play together. I've never seen them on live together. They're literally just a conglomeration of veterans that are there to compete in quotation marks, but they're not like that kind of team is very different from like a team that's put in a lot of effort, and not showing up to one is not the same as not showing up to the other. And I'm not encouraging people to do that, and I think everyone should make their own choice as at an individual level. But personally, I think it's a lot more disrespectful to not show up against a team that's put in a lot of effort and preparation prior, and one that's just a conglomeration of salty vets. And I know that sounds a bit pessimistic to say, but it's kind of how it is.
Well, what about the salty vets who put in a ton of effort? Why wouldn't they?
Yeah,
meet
so
that
some
threshold?
of them do. So like that's like the delineation.
And how the fuck do you know in the first place? Like, good. Thank you, Lanzer. Thank you for asking that question. How the fuck do you know? You don't. You don't know shit.
Between, say, for example,
and even if they don't put in the gatekeep fucking level of effort that it's required to satisfy you, even if they don't do that and they still play and beat your ass and win anyway, does that take away from the victory? I mean, in the PlanetSide 2 shitter victim complex, yeah, that's that makes it all better, and you can erase the fucking loss and cope.
HOTS, which they did play Lane Smash last year, and Dr. Psycho does run a squad ever so often. With that being said, most of them don't play.
Who fucking cares if they play organized squads on live as being a fucking arbiter of whether or not you'll take the game seriously against them in the fucking competitive in 1v1? Like, what did you real
together that much? And on the Hydra side, again, they might
What a
play
loser,
66
man.
together, but they don't talk. They're not the same type of community as, say, Red Mist or BAWC.
Who cares? Why does it fucking matter? It doesn't fucking matter. If they show up on game day and beat your ass, what the fuck does it matter what kind of community they have? Oh, they don't communicate enough to meet my arbitrary demand. Shut up. Like, fucking loser,
Or
man.
I'm sure, like, on Miller, there's one RPC or whatever. Like, those type of teams are very different. And I think I didn't do a good job of explaining the difference between those two.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, that's fair. Hey, that's fair.
That's not fair. That's stupid. Call that shit out. Because he's not the arbiter of what's competitive or not. And if we don't meet the standards of this outfit leader to be taken seriously, to have him respect us enough to show up and play the game, that's bullshit.
All right, so let's move on to the second video, the summer update. 7.5 minutes in, you said that, this is the first comment I mentioned that you talked about. You said, I'm not going to respond to the fake outrage. You've since clarified that. So I'm not going to respond to the, let's call it, reception of us avoiding playing really good outfits.
That's right. It's not fake outrage. It's the reception to your video. Thank you.
40% headshot ratio. It's absurd. So what sort of response did you get from that first video that you're referring to here?
I don't remember. I just make videos, man. Like,
Okay.
I don't even...
Do you see the problem when you're trying to hash out, have a serious discussion with someone like this, and that's the answer to the question that you get. This guy Lanzer's trying his ass off to reach some sort of clarity here, to dip his toe into the murky fucking water, right? And that's I'll go back a little bit, right?
Did you get from that reception of us avoiding playing really good outfits with 40% headshot ratio? It's absurd. So what sort of response did you get from that first video that you're referring to here?
I don't remember.
Bullshit. I don't remember. I only delisted my video because it got a negative reception. I just make videos, man. I don't remember the reception I got. Bullshit. You're full of shit. Come on.
I just make videos, man. I
Wait,
don't
it
even
was
read Reddit
between
or
May
much.
and then 22 June. Did you get like an immediate reaction?
I genuinely have no idea. I wouldn't be able to
Okay,
tell you.
got it. All right, let's
Like,
just move on.
Got it. Let's move on. What the fuck, man? Like,
I genuinely do not know.
I just
Okay.
fucking slipped my mind, you know? It just busted. I fell down and busted my head. I fell on the proverbial sword and I hit my head, and I just can't remember the reception to that video, which I delisted because it had a negative reception. Fuck. Woe's me. Oh, man.
So then a month later, you come out with the new controversial Outfit Wars rules for PlanetSide 2. This is the one that got Kami's attention. This is the one
5 days later, by the way.
that his update details and rant video a few days later was referring to. You said during the video that I hope others are respectful of outfits which choose not to play against the more skilled outfits in the game. Is that part of what you said?
I really love what Lanzer does here. How he lays out, he has these discussion points here, and they're fucking time-stamped quotes from what the person says. It's like, it's almost, it seems like prosecutorial, like you're in a trial or something, and the attorney is just sitting there like, on such and such this date at this time in the video, you said this. What's your response to that? Like, are you gonna be like this guy and be like, oh, I don't remember what I said? I mean, it sounds like court to me. I mean, to be honest, but I appreciate this a lot. Like, a lot of guys, I know they probably have this. Like when I did the interview with Deeg, I don't know exactly how he formulates his interviews. I don't know if he has like the questions that he wants to ask on a second monitor or something. But I like having it displayed. I like seeing it on the screen. Like in this format, because then the viewer, you can follow it too and see that he's not just making it up. Like, if you can't, sometimes I think if people can't see like what the hell you're reading and looking off of, they think, they don't take it as serious. But when I like it right on the screen here, like those.
Said you've tweaked your perspective since then?
So okay, so what would you like clarification on? Because I'm a bit confused on that.
Well, do you still agree with that sentiment?
So rephrase the question again.
Okay. You said about 5 minutes in, I hope
Okay.
others are respectful of outfits which choose not to play against the more skilled outfits in the
Okay.
game.
Well, I think everyone should be respectful of everyone, right? That's obvious.
True.
So,
What a
like, I don't know.
revelation.
I think that it should be.
And it's got to be hard. Getting back to the point of this format, it's got to be hard for fake ass motherfuckers like this to sit here and have like your shit smeared in your face. Like, here it is, smell it. It's right fucking here. That's what you said. And then you see him have to ask him to rephrase the question 3 times. Motherfucker, you speak English. You know exactly what he asked. You're just trying to find some way to weasel out of it.
More be an individual.
And you can tell he's weaseling out of it because of the first thing. Well, just as an aside, everybody should respect everyone. It's fake.
Your choice now.
It's so
I don't
fake.
think that even outfit leaders should choose if their players decide to play or not. And it's more just of some like legitimately like this. This is my thoughts. Like, some people disagree with me even in our outfit. There's like 1 or 2.
Yeah.
And for them, like, I think, yeah, like if they want to show up to those matches, man, some people are masochists and like the weirdest stuff. If they want to go.
Okay, but here's try to level with me here. Here's the thing. You are an outfit leader, right? The tournament calls for 48 players. I don't know if there's any reserve or anything like that, but I'm just going with the 48 player thing. Okay. So your job as an outfit leader is to determine, number 1, are we participating in the outfit war? And under that, if we are participating in the outfit war, we understand what the format is. Okay? Are we participating in it? Do we understand the rules of the outfit war? Do we understand the format? And then we got to get a roster together. We need 48 players who want to participate. Okay, so where's the thing where it's like, okay, here's 48. Let me gather 48 people who may or may not want to play, depending on who we play. Get 48 people. Your job is to get 48 people who want to play. That's your job, not to get 48 people who, depending on who you're playing against, fuck that. If someone in my outfit comes to me and says, well, I'm not sure if I would play in that match or not, based on who we're playing against, okay, then you're not going to participate in the fucking outfit war. See, have fun, play on live. We'll get someone who wants to play all the matches. Like,
Go play those matches, man. More power to them, really.
Okay. So
I
then,
wish them all the luck in the
if the
world.
collective decides we don't really want to show up to this next match, in that case, they've chosen, and you would say to the other player, the other side, hey, please respect that we've chosen not to show up.
I mean, I would like them to, but honestly, it's not like the world's going to blow up if they don't respect.
True.
So,
I mean, this is a game after all.
Let's be
It's true.
honest. Yeah, it doesn't really. I mean,
Okay.
so yeah, I'd rather they respect it, but it's not like the end of the world.
Gotcha. And then about a minute later, you talked about how you didn't want to burn your players out, and I noticed that was a common thread, and you've commented on that already. How
Yeah.
you didn't want to keep
That's
up
the
the
entire thing.
illusion of competitiveness.
Yeah, it's not. So the format of Outfit Wars is very competitive. The importance of nanites, the importance of force multipliers, the importance of having squads operating like doing things correctly, organizing between each other correctly, squad composition, loads of other stuff. That's all competitive. So it's a competitive format. But I don't think that when you put one very casual outfit against one skilled.
okay, so here we we got to hone in on this, guys. This is a very common thing. Okay, here we have the casual player base, the PlanetSide 2 shitters. They often confuse the format being competitive and them not being competitive. Okay, so the thing here is, it's not that the format isn't competitive, but what Zealous says here is that the format and the way it's structured and the way things should run and work, that's competitive. However, it ceases to be competitive when there's a skill disparity. Well, you're wrong. It's still competitive. You are just not competitive. Don't confuse the situation being competitive with you not being competitive, your team not being competitive, because those are two different things. Those are two different things. Okay? It's you're not meeting your end of the bargain. All right? And that's not anyone else's fault. That's you. You're not meeting your end of the bargain, signing up for a competitive tournament to go against other players who are playing in a competitive manner. You have a responsibility individually as members of an outfit and people that are running and leading outfits, that if you're going to be serious about entering into this, you have an obligation to try and make your players competitive, if that's what you're going to do. And if that's not what you're about, cool. Don't play. Don't sign up. Not for you. Go play live. I mean, live is perfectly tailored to people who never, ever want to improve or get better, because you don't have to, you can be the worst player in the world and win all the time. And I think that's the big problem here, is you have a bunch of terrible, awful players who are so used to getting their dicks sucked by the developer and being able to win all the time, that there's a format here where the things that they normally do to win, it won't work. And now cue the crying.
Outfit that's necessarily competitive.
Got it.
When
Okay.
it's
competitive. You are just not competitive.
that skilled, because it's like putting in soccer or football, right? You put a under 16s football club of chill players that are just playing, or maybe they have a few beers before the match, and then you put them against
Under 16 playing drinking before the match.
it's like a premiership team. Even
It's not the same. Stop making this analogy. It's not the same. It's all under 16 versus all under 16. There's no fucking professional players in the game. Stop making this analogy. Stop it. It's not real. You can repeat it as much as you want, but it doesn't make it fucking real. In reality, the situation is what I said. It's all under age 16 versus another all under age 16 team, except one all under age 16 team has a lot of good players on it, and your all under age 16 team doesn't give a shit. and just what shows up to the park and plays. There's nothing to do here with anyone being a professional fucking team. Stop saying that.
In a normal league, those type of teams wouldn't be on the same side, but in Outfit
Yeah.
Wars,
Right. And in Outfit Wars, no, it's not the same because all the players are fucking amateurs.
they are. So I don't.
But you're mad because you're not as good. We're all in the same boat, man. There's no pro players. We're all amateurs, but you guys are so ass hurt that you spend 10 fucking years doing nothing to get better and rolling down fucking mindless zergs and lattice lanes with brain rot all at fucking 16 hours a day. You fucking casuals that have 15,000 hours in the game getting mad at someone who has better stats in the game than them at like 3,000 hours. Like, it's cancer. Your mindset is so fucking rotted. It's
I
crazy.
don't think that's competitive, and I don't think naturally teams with that type of skill disparity in other sports or
Your analogy is fake. It's not applicable to the situation.
would usually say
Stop
against each other.
making this analogy.
And I think this is where Kami's point came into play, and I'd like to get your thoughts on this. So, what you just said, no problem. And then Kami says, well, if you sign up for Outfit Wars, you are willingly putting yourself in a position where that may happen. Do you agree?
well, the devs did that.
It's not that hard of a question. The question is stated very clearly.
Sign up for Outfit Wars, you are willingly putting yourself in a position where that may happen. Do you agree?
Let's get the real response first. Yes. When you sign up for Outfit Wars, you are taking that risk. You're signing up for this tournament that you might have to play people that are better than you. They're not pro players or whatever the fuck fake analogy that this idiot makes, but you might play people that are better than you and you might lose. That's the logical response. Okay, let's hear what he has to say.
Well, the devs did that. So I want to play against most of the outfits, right? But I think there's a certain point where it's a bit ridiculous, and that's kind of where I'm at. But at the same time, look, man, if people want to show up to those matches, more power to them. Go for it.
Okay. Would you still hold?
What a spineless coward, man. These milquetoast generalist fucking takes, like, what a spineless coward this guy
The same
is.
view if Rail's team opened up a more discretionary, 1v1 scrimmage system where you could challenge another outfit, they accept, then you get ported to Nexus, and it's outside of the Outfit War system.
Wow, almost like something that good players have been asking for 8-9 fucking years. It's like a Battlegrounds queuing system. Gee, that's crazy. We could never put that in the game, though.
You still say, hey, show up to Outfit Wars if you want to, and if you choose not to, then okay, not.
Well, I think that's different because you both expect. Well, I don't know. That would be talking to the other leader and figuring out what you want to do, I guess. And it depends how close. Like if it's a month away until that match, that's a lot different than the day before saying that you're not going to show up. So I think there's some like nuance there.
Okay. So at this point in time, if you sign up for Outfit Wars, you know it's going to be 1v1, you know you're going to be in Enter the Bracket system, you know you're going to be facing different skill level teams, various levels of preparation, various levels of IVI, all of that.
So sounds, I mean, 100%. You should know all that. That's all that stuff. Cool. Given. Got it. Understood.
When your outfit or another outfit, let's just take another outfit, is looking at that lineup and said, there's no way. There's no way. And all the outfit members say, we don't really want to show up for this one. If they choose not to show up, would you back them on that?
I think people should be.
Let me guess. People should make their own decisions.
Encourage people to make their own decision.
Would you just look at it?
Okay, I got you.
I'm not going to tell. I'm going to tell them what the game's going to be like, most likely, so they don't show up like we did last time against Hydra last year, and our players burnt out because they thought they were going to have a fun, fair fight, and we ended up getting stomped because it was a bunch of 3.5 KD. Well,
Yeah.
salty.
God, listen to this shitter. Listen to how butthurt this guy is over losing to Hydra a year ago. Listen how butthurt this fucking shitter is, man. It's so, God, it's disgusting.
Vets or skilled players, however you want to define that. But yeah, I
Okay.
don't think that's particularly compelling.
So Lex had an interesting point when I watched his video. He said that, I'm paraphrasing because he uses much more colorful language than, as you might imagine. His basic
I've
gist
never watched
was-
his videos.
Yeah,
Of course you haven't, because they require, you have ADHD. Nothing wrong with that, but your videos are 8 minutes long and don't say anything. I try to have actual discussions about things that are important to people in games. I mean, you and your subscriber base don't have the attention span, or sorry, the intelligence enough to watch my shit. Not that my shit is, it's like highbrow or anything, but like, you might actually have to like use like 1% brain power to fucking get through my videos and get what I'm putting out. But you can't be asked, right?
I've seen him, and he's very much a very competitive player. Probably the sort of person you're just talking about when you're talking about a salty vet, so to speak. His point was that he thought it was, if an outfit ever chooses not to show up, that he considered that to be very disrespectful. And on top of that,
yeah, when you've signed up, when you have willfully signed your outfit up for a tournament, you should be expected to show up. I think that's very fair.
That's his opinion.
And like, this loser's like, that's his opinion. Like, this guy's such a loser, man. I'll play that back. Ready?
thought it was, if an outfit ever chooses not to show up, that he considered that to be very disrespectful. And on top of that,
that's his opinion.
yeah, sure, that's his opinion, absolutely. And how, if your players decide that, well, let me back up. If your players show up to a match and they get stomped, or our players show up, any player show up and get matched and they get stomped, and then they burn out, he called that something akin to being fragile. Is that? Yeah.
That's ridiculous, dude.
It's so ridiculous that my entire community would burn out from losing in a video game a couple times. That's amusing. Like, this is what we're up against. It is.
Okay. Go ahead. Go ahead
so
and
dumb.
expound on that to whatever
Oh,
level
shit.
you're comfortable with.
So, like, man, people people don't realize that a lot of people are just so casual. I don't
Yeah.
think people really like when people most of these teams.
If you're so casual that if you lose a match, you're going to quit the game and burn out, if you're so casual that you can't possibly face the reality that you might lose and get your ass whipped, don't sign up to the tournament. Don't sign up. In fact, if you're so sensitive, don't ever do anything in your entire life where you could lose or face any kind of adversity. Just lock yourself at home, draw the blinds, close the doors, don't watch TV, don't watch the internet, don't watch anything streaming. Just sit in the dark and think of how positive everything is around you.
Showing up these casual outfits, they do not know what they're in for to begin with. So it's not like they've signed up clicking the button and attended the match even knowing, like, man, when these people realize what's going to happen, I really think people think like, oh, we'll probably have like a 1 KD or 0.5 KD. Man, these very skilled players, right, they normally only die to other skilled players or in 2v1 scenarios. And so when you take out all the other skilled players on your team and you take out the overpop, they are going to run over these these casual.
He said the quiet part out loud. Did you hear it? I'm not going to go back and replay it, but did you hear it? He said the quiet part out loud. Yeah, you're going to get all you live heroes are going to get your fucking asses kicked. Recursion's gonna shit on you. Gob's gonna shit on you. VCats is gonna shit on you. All these guys with real players and good players, they're gonna shit on you, and there's nothing you can do about it except cry and burn out.
Casual players, like nobody, I don't think really understands. Even in lane smash, it's bad, and that's
No, they understand. You just fake being ignorant or naive, or maybe all of the members in your outfit are that stupid where they don't know that they're gonna get beat up against actual players. It's not like they play against those actual players on live all the time. Or actually, let me think. They probably rarely come upon them, and when they do, they're in a fucking blob with a 6 or 7 to 1 man advantage against them. So maybe they really don't know what's going to happen to them. Man, I can't wait. The suspense is killing me. I can't wait to watch these motherfuckers get smashed. I can't wait to. I hate a lot of people in a lot of these outfits with these guys, but I can't wait till they kick their fucking asses. I can't wait to watch Gobs and fucking Recursion and my friends that are in VCats. I can't wait to watch them farm the ever-living fuck out of these turds. It's gonna be cathartic. I can't wait to watch it.
less of a skill disparity.
Yeah, that there might be some truth to that as well, because in those matches,
And also, there was way more quotable stuff in my video, Lanzer, that you could have put in here. In fact, all these notes here, this entire page could have been quotes from my video that you could have assaulted this loser with. But I get it. I get it. You got to be nice.
there were a lot more participants across different outfits, and so I think that skill disparity might have been much more obscure than it is now, where you'll see the very direct application of that skill disparity. And I think that goes to Sirius's point as well when he talked about it in his video. Okay, cool. Because I respect Lex. I listen to what he says. He and I've had many conversations that I think, sometimes he just goes too overboard with the offensiveness. But when you peel back that onion,
Man,
I think
I love offensive people. Go for it. Like genuinely, I love surrounding myself with like people that say whatever they want to say. I'm not like against that. More power
that's
to them, man.
Lex. Lex says exactly what he's thinking, and
Go for it, dude. It's fucking life's only short, man. Go for it.
yeah. I
Unfortunately for you, you may like people like me, but I hate people like you. So that's unfortunate for you, I guess.
I really have a lot of respect for Lex.
Yeah.
So let's go to the Kami. Then puts out a video. Wait a minute. Wait. There is something I skipped over. 6.5 minutes in, you said don't respond to trolls. The best way is don't respond, ignore it, unless you want to logically go through the reasons. And I don't think it's worth bringing it up over again. Do you still stand by that?
Well, it depends if they're a troll or not. Because if someone's like genuinely like trying to have a conversation, that's very different than some people. Legitimately, there are people in the world that really just want to shitpost, and they don't actually care about the issue. They're just trying to get a.
That is definitely true. It's 100% true. But at the end of the day, when someone is in your comments and when someone is in Zealous's comments, like posting legitimate things and saying legitimate things about this discussion here, like I am here today, it's real easy for him to just label me as, whatever, right? Ultimately, at the end of the day, it's up to him to address the things that are being said or not. And for the most part, I don't see that.
A rise out of you. I don't think that that's like, and I think that those type of people, like, man, there's only, and also when people, like, for example, on Reddit, like, if people are responding to a thread that's straw-manned, then that's not legitimate criticism a lot of the time. That's just a straw-manned argument that they're arguing against. And that's, the outrage is based on a straw-manned argument, or just an argument that maybe I've changed since I've even made that video. So I don't know. That's kind of my opinion, dude.
Okay. So here, something I went over, I think last week, Lex and I had a YouTube comment conversation. You can still find it in one of his videos where we talk a lot about our different perspectives. We're just on opposite ends of the aisle. And some of what he said felt like a straw man. And I'm sure some of what I said felt like a straw man. And I think what that might come to is we just don't understand each other's mindsets, which is what the conversation was really about. So how do you look at something that looks complete straw man, but then decide whether or not it's someone just expressing their anger or whatever, but when you start peeling that back, you might actually have a really good conversation with them about that.
Yeah, I think that's always great. You know, if someone's saying in the YouTube comments, that at least verifies that they've watched the video. That's a good.
That doesn't mean that. It just, if someone's in the, there's no watch till the end of the video, then you can make a comment feature on YouTube. Because I know for sure, like, I've got some long videos that I post that people are commenting within the first 5 minutes of the video being up, and I'm like, I know you didn't watch that. Like, that's not a requirement. That's not true, Mr. Zealous.
Litmus test, to be honest, dude.
Okay. All right.
That's kind of what I go by.
That's fair. So then something really happened in that video, your July 27th video. Kami responded to it, as did many other people. And you had a lot of conversations. I saw that you responded to a lot of them. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, if people are going to watch the video, I'm happy to talk to people if they've, and obviously if they're not trolling, like, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
If someone's
Kami
trolling,
and
then
you
I'm not
had-
going to respond to them. But
You and Kami had a very long conversation, and what I saw was just two opposing viewpoints where you kind of, you've discussed it relatively respectfully, I think, on both sides. And what I saw from you was that you were talking about how the casual person is not really in it necessarily for the competitive behavior, the competitive pattern. Whereas Kami thought it was disrespectful to sign up and not show up. And where then you responded back that you thought it was within the nature of the game for such a wide variance of casuals, tryhards, competitive, that it allowed for all points of view, to where people who didn't want to show up, that was within the realm of acceptable responses.
Yeah.
I guess my question is that an accurate representation of what the comment discussion was? Because it was pretty lengthy.
Don't know. I'm not. The thing is, Kamikaze. So in Stoicism, a big tenet of it is, I think it's important to kind of just only focus on yourself, and so I'm not going to comment on like other people's opinions or like that much, because I just think it's like it's not fair to do, especially without them here. So I don't really have much to say about what Kamikaze thinks or doesn't think, especially because I'm not particularly like well versed with. I'm not a mind reader, so I don't want to like go over something that I don't know. Like, I'm sure what he said was, a good opinion.
When you were talking on your end,
it was a conversation you had with the man on your comments.
You said, this is competitive. This is not just a competitive, it's for everyone, which could include people who decide they don't want to show up. It sounds like you're saying that the wide variety found in Planetside can account for both perspectives. Yes?
I guess. Sure.
Okay.
Lanzer's literally asking the man at the culmination of this conversation with Kamikaze on your channel, on your video, what was the takeaway? What was your takeaway from it? And what was his answer?
Sounds like you're saying that the wide variety found in Planetside can account for both perspectives. Yes?
I guess. Sure.
Okay.
Am I on drugs or something? Like,
So then a few days later, after your video, Kami comes out with what he calls Outfit Wars 2022, a details and a rant. And this is the one that got Lex's attention. And Kami's main perspective was about 9 minutes in. He says, this is a clear attempt to harbor the competitive experience, transitioning it from 1v1v1 to 1v1. And he said that he believed the sign up and show up if you want to or not show up. He said that he believed that approach to be widespread, and he wasn't sure why that was happening. He was one of the whys I was talking about earlier. Have you seen from your end that that's a widespread perspective. If you choose not to show up, then no big deal.
So I don't know. Like, if people want to show up, then they should show up, and if they don't want to, then so I think usually
That's not what he asked you. You know, change the fucking teleprompter, man. That's not what he asks you if they should or not. He asks you if you see it as a widespread thing.
people will go as a group. So if like half of the people don't show up, it's probably going to be more likely a lot more than that are not going to show up. And if most people are going to show up, then most are going to show up. So I don't think it. I don't know. Like, to be fair, most of the time it is a group decision. But yeah.
Okay. Have you heard from many other outfits that they might
Asking the same question again.
follow in those footsteps?
Yes.
Ooh,
Yes.
okay. Okay. So there might be some truth to when Kami said it might be widespread. Maybe.
Well, kind of. So I think some teams maybe. So I think some teams maybe will attend matches, but play the match as if they're playing it casually. And by that, what I mean is they play against these 3.5 KD outfits, but maybe they're doing a harasser race, or they're playing knives, or they're driving around in repair basilisks, and they're doing anything essentially just to participate in the match. They don't get banned, but try to, and also have some fun. But then like not going to actually compete, which is what the events.
I mean, that's literally against the spirit of the competition. Like, you're physically there, but you're just trolling. It's just gameplay that's against the spirit of the competition. Period. Flat out.
Mainly about. And so in practice, it's the same as not attending, in my opinion. But it's like a cop out of not wanting to get.
I didn't even think of that about that, to be honest. So some outfits might show up and just do a harasser race, and so it's effectively
I
1v0.
strongly suspect that might happen, dude. They might not. Maybe especially halfway through the tournament, once everyone's a bit salty and they've kind of seen what they're facing. I don't know. We'll see.
That's so interesting. It didn't even occur to me. So then I guess that puts Rel and everyone else on notice that may or may not happen. And if it does happen, then maybe just decide for yourself how you want to respond. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not going to encourage anyone to do anything.
Yeah, I got you,
very
Ed.
clearly.
I understand.
That's kind of where I'm at.
I think
that's
one of your
not a
last
cop out for
videos
me
you
either.
said
That's
that.
genuinely like, I don't think that I should. I'm not here to dictate to people what they should do. I don't think that's actually right. So
True, and I made it very clear we speak for ourselves. I didn't ask you to speak for other people. Well, and in this case, really, I'm just trying to understand things
yeah,
that
even within my outfit, I'm just one guy, right?
Yeah, no problem. Yeah. So we're not advocating for harasser races 1v0.
No,
Not what
I'm
we're saying here.
personally not. And I don't.
I mean, if that's what you're gonna do, if that's what you're gonna do in the competition against certain teams, then why are you signing up? Don't sign up. Play live. Don't sign up. Play live. Like, and if you do that and you troll an official match here, and you waste everybody's time, honestly get disqualified and banned from the fucking tournament. Honestly, that seems perfectly fine to me.
I don't. No, I'm not. No.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, that's just genuinely something that I've read.
That's fair. Alrighty, let's go to your video a day after Kami posted his video. You talked about the casuals with the pros, and you labeled that one, Kami drama, casuals with pros. And I had a lot of comments that I thought were really interesting. We're not going to sign up for Outfit Wars. So at that point, you had reversed your decision, or at very least you came to a different conclusion now. About a minute in, you just say right off the bat, hey, I don't think we're going to sign up for Outfit Wars now.
Yeah, see, I changed my mind, man. I don't know.
Yeah. But you said you didn't think it would be worth it for you.
Yeah, I kind of don't think it would. Like, if I could actually unsign up a outfit, I probably would unsign up, because I even think like I changed my mind like a fair amount. I don't know if it's gonna, like, I think it would be, I don't know. I think our players maybe don't care about it that much, to be honest. So maybe we shouldn't be there to begin with. Like, but we're kind of signed up now, so it is what it is.
Gotcha. Yeah, I think Rel mentioned that in one of his responses to Shock Tour, His question was that, if you don't care at all, and you don't show up, then we might just DQ you. And if you didn't care in the beginning, then it won't really matter that you got DQ'd from that season.
Oh, I didn't even know that. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Maybe even he changes his mind. So I spoke to. I don't know if I should say this. I guess I'm gonna, and I'll leak it. I don't know. I talked to Mithro, and he said like basically, if you, and again, this isn't, Mithro is not Rel, so this could be actually different than their actual policy. But he said,
Okay.
like, if any individual doesn't show up to a match, so if I don't show up to a match, that's fine, as long as like if only say half of your outfit showed up to a match, that's okay, as long as like people can show up to a match. That's kind of, like if a large outfit doesn't show up to a match, it's the same as a small outfit not showing up to a match kind of thing.
Okay.
I think that's kind of where they're coming from, but I'm not totally sure, and that's paraphrased, but that's the general gist. So those two statements seem to be in conflict. I don't really know where they're gonna go on that.
Gotcha. Okay. My intuition tells me that if an outfit doesn't show up, as in zero
Yeah,
people
if an
don't show up,
entire outfit, like everyone, they'll probably get taken out. Probably, I
Yeah.
assume.
but if
like all
say
of them.
only 24 people of the 48 show up,
Yeah.
then that
It's also
might be
weird,
some
like-
ambiguity they have to deconflict.
It's very ambiguous, because what if it's
Yeah.
16, or what if it's 12, or what if it's 6?
Right,
Where's
right.
the line?
Yeah,
But
the
what if
nuance,
it's
the devil's in the
36? Like,
details.
where is the line? Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I know that they did specifically say, if 22 people only show up, they won't be suspended. So
Man, look at all the mental fucking gymnastics you have to go through to like. If you're gonna sign up, just play the matches. Just have all your guys and play all your matches. Like, you don't have to go through all this, theory crafting about how many people you can, if you're playing against a team that you think is too skilled. How many people can we get away with sending, and not getting disqualified? Like,
yeah, that's what I know.
Gotcha.
grow up.
Gotcha. Okay, about 4 minutes, then you talk about how you believe that there were older groups of people who seem to have forgot or might have forgot about that this game was meant to be for everyone, for casuals and
Yes.
competitives, and
Yes.
who should participate, who should be able to participate and show up or not show up. Could you expand on that a little bit?
Well, outfit. I don't know if anyone's like these. I think a lot of salty vets, or like I call them salty vets, and I don't call them that in a disparaging or bad way. Like skilled players, or whatever you want to say. Like, but these players, I think, maybe are disconnected from. I play with casual players every week. They're two different breeds. I'll say that much. There's not much overlap. But they're both competing in this tournament, and I think that the mindset of a salty vet may be quite different from that of a casual player. I think that's fair to say.
Yeah, I think that's fair to say.
I mean, it's true, so I don't know.
Well, Kami said that he believed that this current rendition of Outfit Wars was an attempt to harness the 1v1 competitive atmosphere. Lex kind of said something
Yeah.
very similar. So,
Yeah,
do you...
I
Go
agree with
ahead.
that. Yeah, I think that's definitely true, and I think that everyone should be able to do that, not just the very skilled, 2KD, 2.5, 3KD players. I think that even casual outfits should be able to compete.
You can. You can. There's no one saying that you're not. There's no barrier to entry for this. It's just that what these guys have, just this mental block about them, is that they're so not ready to face the fact that they're going to lose to people who are better than them. They're so not ready to face that fact that they literally want to sign up for the tournament. They don't want to play any of the teams they don't want to play. They want to pick and choose who they play against. And then they want to be winners. Like, that's not... Like, what version of reality are you living in where you can sign up for what is a competitive tournament and then get to pick and choose who you play against and then come out a winner? Like, Like, everyone's allowed to participate. It's just everyone shouldn't have the expectation that they're going to win or have a good time or even be competitive. If that's the case, if there are teams, and if there are teams in the bracket, in the tournament, that are, even you yourself say, are full of skilled players that you'll never beat, okay, then you're going to lose to those teams. Probably. And what are you going to do with that loss? Are you going to learn anything from it? Are people going to come away from those losses against those teams with a sense of, maybe when I'm playing for 40 hours this next week, because I don't want to hear all this bullshit about fucking casual gamers. Some of them don't have time to play, but then those guys that are only playing like 2 and 3 hours a week are not the guys out here running their fucking mouths. It's these fucking casuals, which I don't even know if you can call them casuals, that play the game for fucking 40 hours a week. They're the guys that spend 40 hours a week playing the game for 10 years and have never improved since hour 200, and they're out here whining about people who have taken it upon themselves to fucking get better at something they spend a lot of time doing. Like, I don't have any sympathy. And I don't have any empathy for players like that. I don't. They're just toxic casual players who want their fucking cake and they want to eat it too. That's what this is all about. The fucking toxic casual gamers in this fucking game cannot stand if they don't have absolutely fucking everything catered to them, and they don't get to fucking have their cake and eat it too. That's exactly what all of this is about. They're mad that you took away their ability to win. They're extremely pissed off that they actually have to play against real players now in a fucking symmetrically balanced situation, which I don't know about if you know this or not. Shitters that play PlanetSide 2 don't play PlanetSide 2 to play in symmetrical situations. Those are the games they tell players like me and everybody else to go play instead, because they want to sit in their little fucking shitty sandbox that Rel made for them and 2v1 people into oblivion and never be challenged, ever. But now there's a... Ready? Voluntary tournament going on that's 48 versus 48. If you're that kind of player, why would you sign up for that? Are you so confused by your winning and your fake ego that you have from live play that you think that you're going to go into this format and not get your fucking clock cleaned by these guys? Are you that delusional? Do you actually think you're good at the game? Do you really think you're good at the game? I can't wait to watch and see how good you are at the game in however many weeks it is now. I can't wait. I can't wait to watch.
And that's why we signed up. And maybe why, I don't know if we really want to play, or I personally think that our team may not be super... I don't think many other players care that much, but I still want to...
Okay, so you gotta square something for me, Zealous, because you can't have it fucking both ways. Either your outfit cares so much about the outcome of the outfit wars matches that losing and getting stomped will make them burn out and quit the game in the community and cry until they cry to death, okay? Or they don't care. Because you're giving me both here, and it can't be both ways, okay? It's gotta be one or the other. Okay, pick one with your bullshit fucking crocodile tears story.
And I think some of our
excuse.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know.
Pick one, man.
We definitely, I think like everyone wants to play casually. It's just some people don't, I think, want to like be super tryhard.
Then don't sign up for a competitive tournament. 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 If you want to play fucking casually and you don't want to lose, don't sign up for a competitive tournament.
But then on other teams, maybe everyone wants to be super tryhard, and there's like that weird delineation between different types of teams. And I think the Outfit Wars is for everyone personally, and maybe, I don't know if it is, but that's kind of...
Clearly it's not.
My perception right now. And that seems to be the outfits that sign up, but most, like half of them are trash or kind of not that good, or the casual, or however you want to define that based on your own terminology. They're not amazing, and that seems to be arguably the majority, or like at least half of the outfits seem to be pretty casual. So right now, arguably the game is Outfit Wars is for casuals as well. That seems to be where it is, unless things change.
Yeah, but here's the thing, man. That doesn't mean it's just for you. That doesn't mean it's just for them. I know it's hard. It's so fucking hard to have a casual gamer understand that not everything is fucking for him or her or she or it or they. Okay? That's impossible to make them understand.
Like that's the reality.
What would need to change for the reality to be it's meant for competitive people only?
Well, there's two ways, right? You make it very clear in the sign up that look, if you're showing up to these matches, we expect 48 people. We expect you to show up to all matches.
These are things that are a fucking given. Like, these are like a duh expectations for this.
We want you to have everyone in comms. Those are the kind of things that you would kind of expect from a competitive tournament, but that isn't what people have implicitly been told when they sign up. So right now, it just
like, this is such bullshit. Like, you don't know what the expectations of you are for signing. This is this fucking fake pretending to not know like what's expected. Like, it's so disingenuous, man. Like,
just
What
doesn't
were
seem
they
that
told?
way.
What were we told?
Nothing. Like people literally, you can click the sign up button and it doesn't really say much of anything. It just says sign up.
yeah, I have no idea what I'm signing up for. I have no clue. Not like this, the feigned ignorance here, man. Come on, bro.
So now what?
I think that's fair. I think that's very.
I don't think that's fair at all. I think we've had 3 fucking however many iterations of this shit that we have. People that are interested enough in Outfit Wars to click the button and play in it have a pretty good idea of what's going to be expected of them. Like, that's not fair at all. That's stupid. Like, how are you going to let him get away with this crap?
fair thing to point out is that if there was an expectation that this was for competitive players, that it would state that, and that would
Yeah.
be reflected in like the sign up rule.
It doesn't have to, because it's inherent. It's in the fabric and the DNA of the competition as it's presented itself. It doesn't have to be explicitly stated. When your format goes from a 1v1v1 on Zealous or whatever the fuck shit-ass map, and it goes to a 1v1 48 versus 48 on Nexus, in the DNA, it's inherently competitive. There can be no confusion about this. I like, it's such a how do you get to that? That, oh well, we don't necessarily know what, it's bullshit.
Even
The alternate way to do that.
We don't know when we sign up for something, you know, inherently we don't know that we have to send everybody to the match. We don't know. It's this feigned ignorant casual bullshit, man. Stop.
Is you could just
You're not fooling anybody,
have
man.
brackets. You could literally just
And then here we got to ask for the SBMM. Because every casual player, we got to have SBMM, because there's no fucking way you should ever be allowed to play against anyone better than you ever.
bracket teams based on the IVI score.
And that doesn't work either.
Super simple, and just bracket out the teams that way. Or you can have them on live for a 2-hour session at prime time. They're rated based on how well they do, and they're put in an upper bracket or a lower bracket based on, say, a Friday night.
Okay, that doesn't fucking work either, because you're gonna have, guess who caps the most bases on live in prime time? Oh, all the shitty Zerg fits, like they do the rest of the time during the day. So based on how you're doing and the bases that you're capturing and shit, you're gonna have that. And guess who's gonna come out on top on that? This shitty Zerg fits, and then they're gonna be placed in an upper bracket. So essentially, if you do it that way, you're just going to take the fucking bracket how if you're going to do it from top skill to bottom skill, in reality, how it really is, like shooters and gunners and teams, like the good teams at the top, you're just going to flip it this way. And then you're going to have the same thing. Like it doesn't work. You can't do it by fucking IVI. There's no way to matchmake this shit. As much as you want to matchmake and put SBMM in this game, you can't do it. You'll never be able to do it. Stop asking. Get better.
Play and time.
Stop making excuses for why you're still bad at something you have thousands and thousands and thousands of hours in. There's no excuse.
And they get to pick the week. Or like just like there's a few other ways to do it. I'm just like this is just stuff I'm coming up with the top of my head. But like there's ways to do it where they could make it.
I mean, just ask for what you want. Just say, I don't want to play against anyone better than me ever. Just say that. Have a backbone and stand up for what you believe in, because that's what you and all people like you want. Just say, I don't want to play against anyone better than me ever. Just ask for that. Just say that. It would probably help you.
They could delineate it that way.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I was looking at the Outfit Wars sign up last night, and there wasn't anything except like your outfit signed up. I didn't even click the sign up link.
You know what you're signing up for. I mean, if you don't know what you're signing up for, I mean, have fun, I guess. But both these guys, it's especially disingenuous because Zealous knows exactly what he's signing up for. So for him to sit here and feign ignorance about this type of shit, it's so childish, man. Grow up.
Just automatic. One of our leaders did, and then that's it. We're in.
Yeah, that's happened to last year. That was actually just funny enough. The permissions were messed up for all the outfits, so some teams actually signed up.
Yeah, that's right. I remember that. Yeah. That's funny. I'm completely behind that. I think if it were meant to be, Rel speaks pretty as much as he can about the competitive spirit of the game, and I agree with a lot of what he says about that, and I think that that's not reflected in some of the, maybe by design, it's not reflected in the list of expectations or the rules, except maybe now in the unofficial or the official code of conduct, and now that's kind of being applied against Outfit Wars.
Yeah.
But then again, I've advocated very clearly that that's very ambiguous. That whole code of conduct, there's so many things about it.
Well, Lanzer, you should know more than anyone else in this conversation that those things are made vague and ambiguous for a reason. They're called catch-alls, right? Trust me, I know you know, but yeah, there's a reason for that. Because if you had to go and lay out every single line by line thing that you are and aren't allowed to do, the document would be fucking biblical, okay?
You apply it to Outfit Wars, then it can get very ambiguous, which I think it still is right now.
It doesn't really make it very clear that it's like meant to be for extremely skilled players and just like the top 5% of players, really. Right now, it doesn't sound like that. Even if you take like a more fair argument, and it isn't just like, even if arguably.
Hey, wait a second. Please answer me this, and I want you guys that are watching to think about this too. Why the fuck did this never come up in the last Outfit Wars? Why was all of this never brought up? It's not even talked about at all. Why, when you switch the format from 1v1v1 to 1v1, why do we got to talk about it now? I mean, just ask yourselves that question. And chew on that for a little while, okay? And it'll all make sense to you. It like the whole thing here about like, is it only for competitive players? Why did we not? We never had that discussion. We never had that discussion in 1v1v1. Never had to have that discussion. You know? Oh wait, maybe that's because we could just collude with the other team and double team the team that has actual good players. Oh yeah. Oh, so then it's not a problem. Oh, well, now when we remove that wheelchair, when we remove that crutch, now we have to have the conversation of who it's for. Oh, okay.
People do read all the Outfit Wars info that's on the Outfit Wars page. I don't think that it says like. I don't think that it's specifically aimed at salty vet players the way I've read it, but maybe I'm wrong. That's my interpretation right now. So I don't know.
Yeah, and I'm trying to look at one of my previous Stratsides here, but
We can go a bit over divided community if you want. I don't know how much more.
we're go
Go
ahead.
for it. So yeah, there's a lot to talk about there too. So
Yeah, I wanted to say that for last because that to me is super interesting conversation I want to have with you,
it
and we're
definitely
very
will be.
nearly there. So, but I was
Yeah.
looking at because there's already a way to divide that. When you look at the Outfit Wars browser or the Outfit browser, you can see ones that are competitive and trying to find.
Yeah, but that's an arbitrary thing that you can select. Anyone can select for your outfit. And that, like, when you look at those, you don't really, like, there's people that label their outfits as competitive when they're not, or they might, maybe it's a mindset thing, but I don't put any stock. I don't really put any stock or value into that, because when it's all the outfits themselves dictating, like putting that label on them, some of them, yeah, but a lot of them, like,
A screenshot of what that looks like, but you can filter out the different types of outfits, hardcore, competitive, casual, and so that
Yeah, you can do it that way. Yeah, I
yeah,
guess.
that's already in the game. So and
They
maybe
could,
that's
yeah, they could do it via that method as well. Like that, there's nothing stopping them from saying, "Look, there's they narrow down the classification of outfits of either casual or hardcore. They take out the other ones, and um, yeah,
yeah, I get why they could do that. They could definitely do it, break it down that way. And that definitely saves all you casual guys from having to face the reality that you're not as good at the game as you all think you are in the L chat every night. So I mean, it's a win-win.
when that's how you sign up as the casual outfit for Outfit Wars or a hardcore outfit. That's like a good idea too. That's another way to do it.
yeah,
Yeah.
cool. Oh, here it is. This is found this in a previous. It'll show up here in a second. So as you can see here, when you click the outfit browser, you can see there's a classifications, there's special.
See, these are stupid too, because if your classifications are casual, competitive, hardcore, other. Now, what's the difference between competitive and hardcore? Those, in my opinion, could be in the same category. What the hell is other?
Specialization, and there's members. So this is already in the game itself where you can choose I want an outfit that is competitive or hardcore. I want an infantry. I want one that's more than 500 players. And where if you are a casual, then you can't even click sign up for Outfit Wars. That's the sort of thing we were just talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. I just showed that on the
Yeah, great.
the slide.
I inferred as much. Yeah, that's totally fine.
Yeah. Cool. So the next thing after that, you said right after about 5 minutes that if an outfit decides, with their own players, they all decide they don't want to show up for this match. You said that they should be able to do that and not be punished. Do you still stand by that?
So I think players shouldn't be punished individually if they don't show up. But if they want to suspend an outfit if all their players don't show up, I think that's well within the rights of the PlanetSide 2 devs to do. And to be honest, it's their game, so whatever they set is fine. As long as they make it clear.
Okay, cool. All right. So, and this is where we start transitioning into a divided community. About 6 minutes, you talk about how you noticed that there was an adversarial attitude by competitive players toward casuals, and you didn't think it needed to exist.
All right, before we get into this, so I'm like 53 minutes. There's like a little less than an hour left. There's a little less than an hour left on this part of the video. I'm going to divide this into a part 1 and part 2. So the part 1 was what you just watched here. That's basically going over the discussion points here, talking about the outfit wars drama and all that stuff. Now the next part of the discussion that he has with him, I think, is going to focus more on the divided community and the player mindset, as it's shown. I had a lot to say about that in my video. It was a major theme of my video. I have not watched this part of Lanzer's talk here yet. So I'm going to divide this into 2 parts. I'm going to upload the first part and then take a break and do whatever, and then do the second part and upload that too. So I appreciate it. We're getting close to 500 subs, which is weird. I don't sub count or anything. It's just a fucking number that I have to look at every time I come up with the open the content page or the dashboard on my YouTube. You guys have been fucking killing it. Like the last few videos, like starting with the Zealous video that I did, like it fucking did great for me. The fucking serious video with the mouse stuff, it's kind of a troll video for the most part, but that video was fucking doing really well, and you guys are killing it, and you're active in the comments, and I read them all. And yeah, I appreciate it. I'm gonna keep. Well, I've got a lot of free time right now, so I'm gonna keep pumping out this shit, and then we'll go into the second part of this coming up soon. So thanks for watching. I'll see you soon.